Hello and welcome. It's Tips Tuesday. I'm Laura Rubenstein, president and founder of Transform Today and Social Buzz Club, and I'm here with the wonderful and lovely Rosemary O'Neill. Rosemary, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Rosemary O'Neill, co-founder of narrative.org. Happy to be here again today.
It's so fun. I'm so excited to talk to you about this topic of infographics. We see infographics all over social media, on various websites, talked about even on graphs and news. Where else do you see them?
They're everywhere. I'd say they're so shareable. They're on social all the time. I see them everywhere. And my eye is drawn to them, I have to admit.
Yeah, and I know you were doing some research this morning saying, are they even a thing anymore? Are they even useful? What are your thoughts on that?
But I found out they are 3 times more liked and shared on social than other types of content. So that made me sit up and pay attention and really think about how I might use them because they're underused in my own feeds coming from me right now. So I'm anxious to really look into that as something that I could use.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people don't go to them because they're pretty hard to create, and it would be nice. Wow, what if we could create them like that? Have you ever created an infographic? Tried to anyway?
I've messed around. I've tried a little bit and experimented. I like to try everything once. But I am one of those people that I felt a little bit intimidated. I know you have some cool tools out there that you've tried, but it seems intimidating if you're not a graphic designer. So it's kind of neat that you can do it without being a graphic designer.
Yeah, and I've tried different things like Canva, and you can do it in Canva. And then I remember downloading something for PowerPoint, and you can do it in PowerPoint. But if you want a high design without being a high designer, I was still looking for something. I've tried Pictochart, which wasn't bad, by the way. It was easy, but it was still, well, it had limitations. Then I found Visme, and Visme really took me by surprise because I found I could create a really high graphic in record time. Okay. It's not like no time, but it is record time. And I'm putting the link if you want to use my referral link in the chat here because it's just so cool. It's just easy. I want to share my screen. Are you curious to see it?
I want to see it, definitely.
Because Visme, it's like a Canva, but it has a whole lot more functions and features. I love Canva for doing
Yeah, me too.
social media graphics, YouTube covers, all that kind of stuff. This one has content blocks already preset. So you can, and it has a lot of templates. So let me share my screen and then we'll go in and you can see when you log into your account, you get, some of the designs you've created. Here's the infographic. Here's another infographic. Here's 3 infographics. So this is my go-to tool for infographics. How do you create an infographic? You create a new project and you say you want, and they have these really cool things. They have really great presentation creator as well. And you can put YouTube videos in it. You can link in your infographics. You can animate it. It's really interesting. But they have a lot of high design here. And you're not scrolling through a left-hand pane like on Canva, where you really can't see the whole thing really clearly. But here you can. And the infographic you were seeing uh, on my account page was showing this one. And you can see I've embedded it on a web page that the layout was right here. This was the layout that I transformed into what you see here. And I can probably make it a little smaller so you can get a little better sense of it. But it's pretty cool, right?
It's neat that in addition to thinking about the graphics and the layout, the font selection, because sometimes that's really important to getting the point across and making it look cohesive and look professionally done.
Yep.
I stumble on what the different fonts should be and what sizing. So it's nice to have it all neatly formatted already.
Right? And you can recolor it and resize things if you want to use one of their already pre-done templates. and that's what I've done twice actually. I did that for the original one, the first one I did. Let's see if I can go back to my dashboard, maybe. Yeah, my projects. So, and this one I did for LinkedIn. It's a profile optimization for LinkedIn, and my 12, checklist, point checklist. And they have a whole video you can go through, which I did. And it was about 3 minutes and it was great. And it allowed me to put this image in the background. So I changed it up quite a bit. And I think it changed the size here on me, but it's easy enough to edit because on my page that I have it on, it is not, it is all aligned. And it's really easy to make it longer. Like if I just want to make this longer, because I'm not sure why these graphics are, oh, that's all I have to do too. So I can just shrink that. I can move things around if I wanted to, and you can make it longer. That's how simple, super simple it is.
And
Yeah,
are you on a paid account or a free account for this type of
this
design?
is you on a free account, you get 5 free images or projects, as they say. So I have exceeded that. I did have to get upgraded for that. So, and it is a little bit more pricey than Canva, but it does so much more. So, but in the beginning, you can start for free. I love that you can start for free because we love free,
Free
right?
is good, yes. For the army of one, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's excellent tool and it allows you to do a ton of things. Let's see if I can go, you can save, it's saving it, my changes, and then I can go back to my dashboard and work on another one if I want. So again, 5 free, and it created a new project um, when I started that one for the new infographic, but didn't start anything. And if you say get started on a blank template, then you can go to their content blocks and start adding in content. So there's header text and blocks. I think you can, like if I wanted to put in you know, something here, it would size it pretty appropriately.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah. And then you can do, if you have stats and figures, you can bring in a couple here. All right. And then there it keeps going from there. Um, and of course, you can either add a block by just putting the plus sign there. If I have and they have a whole selection of thousands of free images. This is one of the big things. It's completely different in Canva. They like to feature the paid images. Here they have brought in all the free images. So you can
Nice.
search to your heart's content. And so, it's really quite lovely, and it will do some snapping to the sides, and before you know it, we have a lovely um, infographic just in a few seconds here from scratch. Obviously, you want to kind of have your own, um, your stuff set up. So your statistics ready. It'll make it so much easier than creating both the graphics and the infographic at the same time, and the content. So you want to have the content pre-prepped for you, and it has the grid lines just like Canva, and can shrink up this part, this block, and then shrink down this to fit. So it works super smoothly um, if you love that. And then okay, we want to put in some photos in the background or what have you. We certainly can. And image not found. Oh, that was interesting. So I think there's a way actually you can just set a background image. Okay, yeah. Let's delete that. Let's go here, background, and upload background. You can upload background if you want. You can, I think you can use a photo for a background. I don't know if that's just sliding. Oh, there it is. Did you see that?
Oh, it's pretty intuitive, actually.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I really like about this is
Nice.
the ease, the intuitiveness. It's not glitchy. Um, it 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 really brings in things really nicely. Has a whole slew of your icons are all available. Let's see, in graphics. Oh yeah, out cutouts. They have cutouts. You can search for media. You can insert voiceover on your presentations, by the way, and you can insert a video here as well. It's very interactive, and you can embed online content as well.
Wow.
So it's pretty nifty. And I don't have a demo of that for you, but there's great things you can do with this Visme.co. It's it's really easy peasy. And you can upload your own images if you like. And it keeps a record of what you've used in the backgrounds as well. So, and you can organize it, of course, by folders. And you can go back to basics right at the top. And my content is here as well. If you want to save things that you've edited, you can save them too to your own. Like that was for this. Oops. And guess what? It will add it right away. You can have a theme color, by the way, as well. And I can drag this if I want somewhere else on the page or leave it somewhere. And I can also ungroup things and group things that got grouped. So that one disappeared, but it's okay because we can always add it down here or add a block and then add it to the block.
I
Boom.
could see this being great for any type, if you're doing content marketing for any reason, it could just not just be for research, but if you're creating a banner to go along with it, or if you're making a big announcement, or even for training materials, people learn visually,
Yeah.
right, better than just reading text. So I could even see this being great for documentation even.
Mm-hmm. And you can do mind maps on this, like you see they have all kinds of diagram type setups here you can put in place, and so it's easy to either do that as a learning tool, a mind map tool, a productivity tool, and they have different styles even with solid outlined or bordered, and you can scroll through. So they have a nice variety, is what I really like too on
Mm.
this. And so you were saying that, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. You were saying that um, your research showed that infographics are highly more attractive to the eye. They get more clicks on them, and you can embed them on blog posts, and then they become clickable links from social media if you set them as your featured image or your open graph image, or you create an open graph image from that. And so people can come back to click. So on narrative, for example, if I was to write an article, could I embed an infographic?
Yes, we do support embedding. You could do that. And also, we know people are drawn more toward the visual content. It shows up, if it has a nice graphic, it's going to show up in the featured section more likely as well. So and even, from a macro standpoint, even outside of narrative, we know that infographics drive traffic. And also, one of the things I saw said that there are about 600,000 monthly searches on Google for the word infographic or infographics. So people
Oh,
are actually specifically looking for infographics. And I think what is driving that is the desire to have concrete information or something that's actually useful and shareable rather than just some random article. It feels more like factual if you've got a detailed infographic with the stats and the references on it. So people are actually hungry for this type of information, which that makes it more of a slam dunk.
oh my gosh, that's great. Yeah, I love that you can put it in there. By the way, Visme also supports its own link to it. So if you don't have a website, you can still embed it because it gives you embed code from their website. And then it's
That's fantastic.
get your own page for it. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And that's, the little tip today I wanted to share about infographics. I love it. When you go to tweet out and you have hashtag infographic, people are searching that term as well, right? Now, the tip about, I want to go back to content for it. Think about stats, think about steps. Stats or steps or tips. 7 steps to, 6 tips for, um, and that's about, you can do comparisons befores and afters, or 2 products side by side, 2 services side by side. Almost thought about putting an infographic together about infographics. We could do a
Ooh,
combo of steps and tools, so or stats and tools. Why do it? It's clickable. Okay, here's a tip, or tips and tools. So you can, or stats and tips. So if there's a stat, you put a tip with it. It's eye-catching. Great. Here's 3 tools to, and I've done an infographic like that, 3 tools for creating content, graphical content like infographics. But I have to say that Visme won me over for this particular use case and making them quick. And I use Canva all day long. I use other things also for different, I probably use 4 different graphic tools
do you ever
online.
use PicMonkey?
I have in the past for editing photos in particular. Yeah. Is that one of your favorites?
That's one of my go-tos, and exactly for that, editing photos or just quick little resizing of things. I love it for that. I also love Canva, and I poked around on their infographic creation tool. I can say just cursory look, Visme blows it out of the water from an infographic standpoint as far as what you showed me. So I'm anxious to get in there and play with it.
Yeah, there's another site I use for creating social media graphics. Now I use Canva all the time when I want to create like duplicate and various versions of the same design. But when I want to mix up a design and get a branded kind of thing, I want a YouTube cover, I want a Facebook cover, I want a social media graphic, or I want a series of social media graphics that don't look the same, but they have the same colors and they look like they're in the same family. There's a site called Relay That, which does it. And I haven't tried them for infographics, but it's really quick, and they have all the stock photos in there as well. It's not free though, as far as I know. I do have a paid account for that. So there's all kinds of great tools out there to make things fast, and we'll keep sharing them with you. In fact, maybe we'll do a Relay That demo next time, or in the future. I know there's all kinds of tools we can share. And actually, we might want to do it next time. And then the time after that, what I'm thinking, Rosemary, is I have a tool where you can create images and get a clickable link to the site you want
Ooh, that sounds good.
on social media. Because right now, when you upload something from social media, there's a big problem.
Yes.
When you upload an image, it just brings up that image. But
Yeah,
if you want that image to go to a page, you either have to embed it on that page with the right Open Graph tag, so it picks it up, because sometimes you don't get a choice anymore. And sometimes it does it in a little teeny tiny thumbnail, and sometimes it'll do the big one. Well, if you want the big one consistently, I got a tool for us.
oh, that sounds like a ninja tip. I can't
It's
wait.
ninja. It's so ninja. I'm gonna wait for next week on Tips Tuesday. And actually, next week Tuesday is my book launch, so we'll do a quick tips for Voices of the 21st Century. It's a collaborative book I did with Women Speakers Association, so shout out to them. Maybe I need to do an infographic of quotes from the book. That would be kind of
Yes.
different authors. That'd be kind of fun just to do for the authors. I love doing things like that, and it's a community. It's a real collaborative effort. So, yay! What's new in your world?
Well, I'm under hurricane warning right now. But on the business side, I did have one other cool thing to share about infographics. I actually have encountered a really cool agency that is totally focused on infographic creation. So if you don't want to do it yourself and you have some money to invest in the project, there is a team called Now Sourcing, and they're fantastic. And they will actually do the research for you, come up with a whole marketing plan and promote the infographic and design it and create it and everything around it. And they've had some great success with some of their infographics actually going viral and in the press. So that was something I had stumbled across, and I met one of their team at South by Southwest and just love what they do. So that's another option. You don't necessarily have to do it yourself. There are folks out there who specialize in it too.
Cool. I'm putting the link in the comments here on Transform Today Inc.'s page. So we hope you have enjoyed our little hacks today. Come back, join us again next Tuesday around 10 o'clock Pacific. We will see you then.
Book launch
Be
day.
safe. Be safe.
Thank you.